Hey guys, here's an early 1980s Super 3714 20-inch box fan. Now this is a 2-speed fan as opposed to the 3713, which is a 3-speed version. Now this fan was made by Lasko, and it also shares the same model number as the Galaxy versions, which were also 3714s for the 2 speeds and the 3713 for the 3 speeds. Now this fan I acquired in the summer of 2020, and I believe that was the same day I bought the 1973 Electro-Home box fan, the rebadged Lakewood fan. And so yeah, I came home that day with 2 box fans, and this one actually has the original box, so let's take a look at that now. Alright, so here's the box for the box fan. We have the giant Super logo just blaring right at you in the middle of the box. Now the interesting thing is that this box fan is not the one that's in the box. Of course, this is I believe a 1970s Lasko box fan. And that's actually funny because Lasko often does that with their graphics on their boxes. It's so outdated. And they've been doing that since the 1980s. Who knows, maybe even earlier. Here's some of the features. 20-inch portable floor fan. Safety grills. Jet prop for quiet air delivery, will not bend, warp, or rust. Not sure about that. Perfect balance and blade pitch. Yeah, right. So I guess maybe perhaps when they came out of the factory they were perfect, but it seems like with Lasko box fans, sometimes over time the blades kind of warp and they just go out of balance sometimes. 1-year guarantee for the motor. Heavy duty strap handle. Okay, then why do they keep breaking? Now here's the price tag for the fan. This fan was purchased at Home Hardware for $33.99 back in probably around 1983 or so, whenever this fan was made. And let me do a quick calculation and see how much that's worth in today's money after inflation. Alright, and after a quick Google search, $33.99 Canadian in around 1983 is $89, approximately $89 Canadian in today's money after inflation, which honestly is a lot for a box fan, because you could go to Home Depot now and pick up a box fan for around 35 Canadian dollars. So this fan was more than double that in value when it was new in the 1980s. So these things were not cheap, and even though the number looks cheaper in comparison to today's money, inflation is always a role in the reason why these appeared cheaper, but they really weren't. They were far more expensive. So anyways, with the box, well, I guess we didn't take a look at the other sides, but it's just pretty much the same thing, and the other side is French, but I do know that there are some French viewers, so here you go. Exact same thing, just translated in French. Alright, and back to the fan. So here she is, once again, the Super 3714. Quite a nice looking fan. Lasko definitely knew how to make good looking fans that were not really over the top, but all of the parts that they used were always in harmony. They looked great together, and just all around, this was one of the nicest looking box fans of this time, in my opinion, of course along with the Lakewood fans. Now this version sports the wagon wheel hub, which I absolutely adore. It's such a nice little addition that just kind of makes the fan look that much more interesting, because the later ones, they eventually progressed to more of a plain looking hub. So eventually they got rid of the cutouts to like a single cutout. Then they moved on to kind of like a cone shape. And there were a couple variants of that, including a pin, like a hole punch cutout, or there was even like a single slot cutout. And they eventually moved on to the current plain hub that they have. But this was definitely the best looking hub they ever had, in my opinion. Now, one benefit with this style blade hub is that the retaining clip is at the front of the hub. It's exposed. So when you want to take the blades off, you can simply go in and pop the clip off first, and that will release the tension off of the blade hub and the entire blades will slide off with ease. So servicing this fan is quite a breeze. So here's the front grille. It's in very good shape, no broken slats, but it is a little yellowed. On camera it's actually looking less yellowed, so the camera's doing the fan a favor, but in person it's a little bit more yellowed. Now, one very strange artifact or something that's on this grill is this solid bar that's, I'm not sure if it was like a defect in the molding or what, but it's not knocked out. So it's a solid piece that kind of obstructs it. Oh, it's actually in the back grill too. So I'm not sure what happened with that. I don't think there's really a reason why they would have blocked it. So that's kind of interesting. There's the Super logo, beautifully printed on this brown badge, brown and silver badge. Very minimal rust. A lot of that is not really rust, but it's more like a rust staining. Yeah, it's pretty clean down there. The paint job looks great on this fan. It's kind of a slightly yellowish olive green in a satin finish. There's a little bit of scratches on there, but all in all, not too bad. And this color, I think it's pretty nice. It's not the most, beautiful color or anything like that, but it's definitely more lively than gray or like white or just some boring color that we see on today's box fans. There's the side, there's the hole for the stand, which is still plugged up. And on the other side, pretty much the same thing. Now, one interesting thing I noticed is that it's got this random sticker on it that just says Super 3714. I have no idea what the purpose of that sticker is, but I thought it was funny, so I just left it on there. And of course, it's a 2-speed fan. We got a little knob with the indicator there. And also the handle, the original handle is broken on it. Well, it was completely missing when I got it, so I put this, packing box strap handle on there. It's doing a good job. And it looks pretty good from a few feet back. Alright, so the back rail's in slightly worse shape. The yellowing is a little bit more severe. And we have 2 broken or missing slats. One down here and one here for the cord, which I honestly don't mind because it makes cleaning easier. You can just slip the cord right through it. And these were already broken when I got it. If I had them, I would have definitely replaced them, but they were not in the bottom of the cabinet, so they are MIA. So this fan is old enough to have the single piece motor strut. So the 2 sides are connected and they're just welded onto the top and the bottom. So more of a sturdy design than the later ones that were just 2 bars that were just running down the sides. It has the infamous plastic Marco motor. Basically the same construction that they used the whole time. It's got different color windings, of course. Yeah, pretty much all Lasko box fans of this era had this plastic motor. Interesting design choice. Alright, and I don't recall if there was any information on the bottom, but check that out anyways. Oh yes, here's the state of the bottom of the fan, which is definitely the worst out of the 4. It's got paint loss, rust spots, and all of the feet, which would have been foam stickers, those are missing. So I'll probably replace those at some point. But most importantly, here is the stamping for the information. 120 volts, 60 hertz, 2.2 amps, thermally protected, and do not use in a window. Ne pas utiliser dans une fenêtre. Like really, this is a box fan. A lot of people buy these to use in windows. And since this fan has yellowed back grille, I'm pretty confident that this fan was used in the window many times in its life. It's always funny seeing those on fans, that warning. Made in Canada. Now, I'm guessing this fan was maybe assembled in Canada, but all of the parts were imported from the States. But this fan has some Canadian traits because check out these screws. These are Robertson screws, which are the square heads, and those were pretty much only used in Canada. The American Lasko fans had simple Phillips head screws. So there's a little touch of Canadianness on this fan. So yeah, made in Canada, made in USA, kind of both. And also I could not find a date code on this fan. Normally there would be a year stamped below it, but for some reason this fan doesn't. But my best guess is around 1983, but if there are experts watching this video who know more about these Lasko box fans, please feel free to chime in, because I would definitely be interested in knowing, you know, more of like a precise estimate on the year. So let's go ahead and, oh, here's the plug for those who are interested on that. A simple molded plug, nothing too interesting here. Non-polarized, of course. So let's flip the fan back around and we'll start it up. Alright, so here it is. We'll start it up on high speed. Now the motor in this fan doesn't seem to be quite as powerful as the motor inside of my 3713 from 88 to 89, because that motor gets up to speed very quickly and it seems to run a lot faster. But this one doesn't go quite as fast, but one benefit to that is that the low speed is much nicer, which we'll see in a minute. It's not too loud. It's moving a decent amount of air. Close-up of the wagon wheel hub. Yeah, not very well balanced, but all in all the fan's pretty smooth. Very minimal shaking. There it is on low speed, and check out that drop in speed. The low speed on this fan is so nice. It is, in fact, one of the quietest out of all of my box fans. It's so calm, so quiet, and man, it's putting out the most calm, gentle breeze. Honestly, this would be great for sleeping. Alright, and we'll bump it up to high speed once again. And off. It's got quite a good spin down time. Oops, I almost forgot about this, but here's the startup sound. I'm going to try to capture it from the side of the fan because the sound seems to resonate through the cabinet the best. Here it is, high speed. And of course to low speed. Alright, so that is the 1980s Super 3714 2-speed box fan. So that's going to be it for this one. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.